Electricity is a mysterious commodity. We don't think twice about consuming it, paying for it, or how it's made available to us whenever we want it. In fact, it's probably the only commodity we treat this way, because if gas prices rose to $10 a gallon, we'd notice and curb our driving habits. So why don't we pay more attention to our electricity usage?
Electricity, it's always there. We use it to charge our cell phones, to heat and cool our homes, to do lighting. It's everywhere we look. We pay the bill and we don't think twice about it. So I think it's just this intangible luxury item that we've always had. The higher demand gets, the dirtier it takes to make electricity. We have to burn some waste thing. We're polluting the air. We don't know when it's cheap or expensive, and we have to change our behavior or we're not going to achieve the energy transition that's underway.
How can we as a society economically consume electricity? It starts with large corporations learning how to develop and install decades-long comprehensive energy supply strategies that include microgrids, renewable power, and automating the economic consumption of electricity. This is also known as demand resource optimization. As a commodities expert, this is what Brandon Schwertner and Priority Power are teaching, and have done so for over 2 decades.
Demand resource optimization is simply enabling economic consumption of power. And that seems like a complicated answer, but let me give you an example. Every business and even home has a level of flexibility in the way they consume power. Does every light in the house need to be on at the same time 24 hours a day? Probably not. Could we pre-cool rooms before it's 5 o'clock and 102 degrees outside? Crypto miners, they can shut machines off, spin up servers in another state, no loss of performance in their business, and they can act as a virtual power plant. The key is automating that response through technology. Why do businesses do that? 2 reasons. 1, it's economic. They make money by doing it. 2, it achieves sustainability goals.
Windstone US is owned by Riot Blockchain, and we have 750 megawatts of metered capacity here in Rockdale, Texas. What that really means is having the flexibility to both turn power on and turn power off at times of demand. And what do I mean by demand? There are times in every state where power is being crippled by heat or freezes, and the consumers actually need more power. So a Bitcoin mining facility acts as one of the fastest virtual power plants. Within 5 seconds, we can turn our facility off to help support our neighboring communities. And having a partner like Priority Power is the connecting point that creates a strategy that's holistic throughout your business.
The only way that we're going to walk through this energy transition and a move towards a zero carbon future, whether that's 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, it starts with electricity. Not only how it's produced, but where we work is how is it consumed, and making sure that when the commodity is cheap, we're using it to create business, and that's a good thing, and it helps stabilize the grid. And then when it's expensive, not consumed. Whether we're shifting consumption from daytime to nighttime operations, we're shutting down demand centers in a portfolio that just don't need to be there during that time, and automating that response, that is required to achieve the sustainability goals we have as a country and as a planet.
To date, Priority Power has helped their customers reduce 7 million metric tons of carbon across $2.7 billion of electricity expense. They've achieved this by staying focused on one thing, and one thing only: to decarbonize the US in the most economical way possible, without bias to how it happens.
Our mission is simple. We're going to help our clients walk through the energy transition that is currently underway. We serve as the internal energy division, procurement sustainability for our clients. We're their partner. And part of that is not leading and trying to sell something. We listen first. We ask a lot of questions. What's your sustainability goal? How do you have to report it? What does your board want? What do the shareholders want? And it's complicated. Technologies are changing rapidly. Solar costs are dropping, storage costs are dropping. We put together multiple strategies in balance with a measured sustainability impact and what's most economic. Ultimately, it's our goal to just simply provide all the options, rank them. We're unbiased, and we're gonna walk with our customers through that energy transition and help them make the right choice.
Priority Power, more than a platform, a partner in achieving your carbon neutral goals. To learn more, visit PriorityPower.com today.